Okay, hey there guys, so in this war we're up against DSVG. This is the second time for us to face them in the season. We also faced them pretty early on. It took us a while to rematch. You can technically rematch like around 6 wars later. I think it took us a little bit longer too. So, yeah, it's fine. DSVG, they're a good alliance, but we're usually pretty comfortable against them. This war, there was actually something funny that happened, like, kind of before the war, was for like a couple minutes, an hour even, mastery swaps were free, so I started to swap over, or I did swap over to suicides, and then I realized it was charging me units, and I was really sad, because this Kitty Pride fight is really the only fight I like needed suicides for, if I'm being honest, and you don't even really need it. I'm 90% sure I have suicides on here. Let's see after the SP2. SP2 does a lot, but the final hit switches over to the other phase. Oh, I didn't put suicides on here. But that final hit of the SP2 there, if you didn't see, it the timer swapped over to blue phase because I used the power start 1. That was what I brought up in that one video, is sometimes with Nimrod against certain matchups, if you use a power start 1, you won't be at eradicate by the time you're at your SP2. So sometimes it almost actually slows down the matchup, you trying to like time it up. But right here, I just had to build up another 2 bars of power. It doesn't take too long, and it's a Kitty Pride. It's pretty easy. It's not like either of the nodes really affect me. Nimrod doesn't really heal, and I don't really rely on my crit rate for damage. Your crits are like decent, but that's not what you really use it for. So this Hitmonkey fight here, it has the insult to injury and the long distance relationship, which actually I guess it'd be the heal block debuff is the bigger issue here. So that's why I put on the invulnerability boost, because the heal block debuff makes it so you are always going to have minus 15% ability accuracy, and then the long distance relationship lowers your damage, making the fight take longer, and then for every one of those it's another ability accuracy reductions. Like right here I'm at minus 30%. So I wanted the invul just in case, because Hitmonkey is one of the few champions who will commonly crit against Doom. See, like right there my parry fails, so I had to like continue to dex out of it mid parry. Kind of lucky or skilled, I'm not sure. I don't remember if that was intentional or not, I'm not gonna lie. So right here I'm baiting out his SP1 before I go for my SP2. I could go for SP3, but my Fury could fail, so there's like no reason for me really to go for it. And Hitmonkey has such low health that with the rank 4 Doom, my SP2 is just gonna do a ton of damage. So the reason I wanted to bait the SP1 is, if you see, it pushed him into another bar of power, and when he has the purple, I believe it is, his special, or which one? I guess it's the orange. His specials can become unblockable. I think I know how to dex his SP2, but that's not something I want to test in war. I think I would survive either. I probably would survive either way. I'm Dr. Doom. So I had to wait for those couple mini bosses to go down, and now I also had to place a white magneto. So now I'm at this Korg here. So I use a white magneto, so I'll always be able to parry, and so that way I'll not have to worry about him like doing a full combo into my block, because he shrugs my parry and he gets a ton of power. And then I don't know, this day for this war, my Wi-Fi was just being so annoying. Like, this is the second time I had loading issues, and I think I had full bars, like Wi-Fi and data full, both of them. It's not like I should be having issues. So it was pretty annoying. Right here I think I was looking for a boost or something. So I have the white magneto pre-fight on, and I buy a power start, or I was thinking about buying a power start 1. So I'm about to enter the fight. I'm like, okay, footloose Korg, nothing too bad. Hump's Korg. Like, actually, I just really need a combat regen. Like, I'm fine if I don't have an SP1 at the start of the fight. I'll give him more power to what the heck? What? Timed out? I didn't fight. Huh? Kabam? Hello? And it spits me right back out. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, no deaths. So let's go back out. Let's not like risk anything of going in right away, right? So I go out, I come back in, I'm like, okay. Okay, my pre-fight is still there. Good. Nodes are the same. Okay. Let's check. 3 attack bonus remaining. So I don't think I died, and that's just what I'm hoping, because sometimes there's like a lag delay where if you die, it doesn't tell you right away. It's really silly. So I go back in, and I'm running in. Oh my gosh. I have no idea. So I talked to some people about that, and we've like kind of seen it. Right there, I used the light to close the distance into the heavy, so that way I could get the stagger up for that unstoppable, and it gives me power because of my Mystic Dispersion. Just wanted to touch on that. But the bug that happened right there, I've seen it in incursions before, and some people in my like battle group in different chats have seen it as well. It's if like you double tap on your node or something, I think is what they were saying. I'll be honest, I still don't know exactly what it is that causes it, even in like incursions, because that's where I've mainly seen that happen, and it doesn't like lower your health by half. So I was pretty comfortable with that. So fortunately, I didn't take any death there, so I didn't die or I didn't time out to this Korg to a bug. That would have been so awful. So right here, I just used the SP3. And it's a pretty standard Doom fight against a Korg. You don't have your shocks, so you can't use your staggers as easily. But right as I get to my first SP3, the fight's over. The SP2 demolishes him, and then the Incinerates just do that final like 5% damage. Thankfully, I was able to, the Incinerates like stayed. They didn't get shrugged off. Right here, I just have to use an energy, and I'm just gonna have to wait a bit until I take my next fights. I think I had to wait until Global was down? I feel like I had to wait until Global? Let's see. Was that this war? I feel like that was this war where I had to wait for Global to go down before I took a fight. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's what I'm remembering. Because... oh, maybe it wasn't this war. I don't know. But so I have this Abomination here again. And... I don't know. It's kind of cool. I like taking Abomination or I like using Nimrod for a non-mutant just because people are always on that whole, you know, he's only good against mutants or like the cheese nodes, the regen and the prowess. I mean, this guy doesn't have regen, he doesn't have prowess, he doesn't have the mutant icon, but this fight goes so well. Like, I don't know. You have the little bit of power control to lower his power some, you have the cowardice, so even if you eat the specials, you're fine, you're poison immune. And now right here, so I get the light intercept into a 4 light combo into the SP2. So I trigger the Fury, trigger my shock mode, and then throw the SP2 without feeding him unnecessary power. Because right, the extra medium would have slowed down my tempo. It would have done a couple things. It would have been fine if I had done it, but there was no need to. And so right here, I think I'm going to go for another backdraft. I just kind of go in. Oh, I actually do finish my combo there. I think... oh, that's right. I wanted to build up a couple armors because I knew I was about to be at Eradicate mode. So I built up to the extra 2 armors, so that way I'd have the extra attack rating for the SP2. And boom. Pretty straightforward fight. So I think this is where it was. I had suicides on. I turned them on, and I realized it had cost me units to put them on. I wouldn't have done it if I knew it was going to cost me units, because... okay, for that Abomination fight, it was probably a decent idea to have them on, but for like the Kitty Pryde fight at the start, I definitely didn't need it. I think it was this war. I think it was because of my death. My officer made a joke that like he wanted me to put on, or was it for boosting? There was a reason he made the joke that he wanted me to turn suicides on for Kitty Pryde, turn them off for Hitmonkey for Doom, keep them off for Korg, put them back on for Abomination, take them off again up here. So he wanted me to put them on and off twice. I was like, no. When I saw they were free, I was like, oh, sure, they're free, I don't care. But not being free, not. That's a lot of units to like dump into a single fight. It's like 50 units, I want to say, to like switch each time. It might be, yeah, I think it's around that. This Nova fight here, the only thing that's like kind of annoying about it is you have to make sure you're controlling his buffs. That's why I threw the SP1 there at the start. It also allowed me to get that intercept, which is technically, it's a little bit iffy to do against Nova anytime. But so the reason I wanted that SP1 right at the start was so that I could prevent that from happening later in the fight, which it still happened. Because using the SP1 early, you're able to like nullify, and you're able to control his power a bit. And because of Mystic Dispersion and his few buffs, and the Power Steal, it's pretty much like not using a special. I know it sounds really dumb, but like it pretty much is not using a special when you use a Power Start 1 with Doom. It's really crazy. So right here, he has the unblockable. I'm like, okay, let's... and I intercept him. that was a really bad idea. I didn't intentionally go for the intercept. I'm sorry if this like can make someone nauseous. I don't know. I really liked the way this effect looked. It looked really cool in Doom's SP3. And that was that Nova fight. Pretty simple. That last intercept was definitely a bit of a risk because I think he had high charge. This Moleman fight is one of the first fights I'm intentionally speeding up in a while because, in my opinion, it's a boring fight. I can't use heavies because he's shock immune. I can't really go for intercepts, so it takes longer because the whole reason, this was a much more common placement, especially a while ago, and I guess it's still common in some alliances, is the whole like trick to it is that you place Moleman here and someone goes to intercept him, and if he has more than is it any charges or is it more than 3? I can't remember. I feel like it's more than 3. If he has more than 3 of his monster mass charges, he goes unstoppable and he can enter frenzy, which gives him guaranteed crits and gives him guaranteed bleeds, and it can do a lot of damage if you get a combo. So like the whole trick to the node is that they want you to try to intercept him, and that then he goes into frenzy, he's unstoppable because you hit his block and he just wrecks you. That's the idea behind this placement. So it's just a long node because the only way to technically do it safe is to not intercept. Now, could I have gone for like backdraft light intercept or something? Sure. And also the other thing is you can't break his block with specials. So like when he stands up here, normally you just throw the SP2, right? Can't do that. He'll just block it. Come in at you, guaranteed crits, wrecked. So I go for the second SP3 here just to get up my double fury rotation with Doom, which it's a lot of damage in war. Like, right, this is what you would do in like Abyss of Legends, not war against a rank 3 champion typically. So those incinerates are doing 1,000 with a 60% damage reduction. Yeah, it wasn't the longest fight, considering like the damage reduction and all of that, because rank 4 Doom is so great. Plus the extra attack boost from that. And that was... We've had a lot of like 1 death wars in BG1. This war we were talking in chat a lot because we know a fair few of the DSVG guys. Lofty's an old friend of mine from Line. He's probably one of the earlier people on that I've met that's like connected in Line. Really nice guy. Well, yeah, he's a nice guy. I like Lofty's cool. So yeah, there was a lot of chatting going on in the war. This war was... I'm dumb. You can kind of see it. You can make out what it is. The score is 4-1. The score was 4-1. I, for some reason, kind of cut out the deaths, because I'm really weird. So it was 4-1. We played absolutely insane. 1 death across 3 battle groups. I mean, you can go 0 as an alliance, but that's super hard. And both alliances were super close in time. Under 9,500 seconds is honestly very, very good time. DSVG also played insane. Like 4 deaths will get you a win against most alliances. Like that, their stat line here would get you a win in most wars from this season. But we just kind of popped off. We only gave 1 death. Super, super clean war. Great war to DSVG. A lot of fun war. This was actually a big war for us because they're kind of higher up in the rankings, and we won it. So it made us know that we really just needed like 1, maybe 2 more wins to secure first. And we got the win, so it's a really big win for us. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a longer one, but hope you guys still enjoyed it. I'll be seeing you around soon. Bye.